So like we have sales, like we have our sales calendar planned out pretty much for like 3 a quarter generally. Every now and then we'll throw
Okay.
something in randomly, like we did a leap day sale, which like matched our Cyber Monday sales nut data pre all of this, right? So like we literally had a random day in the middle of February because it only happens once every 4 years that we did Cyber Monday numbers. But what's interesting is the sale was a spring surprise sale that I'd actually planned on doing the week after everything hit, like March 17th, March 18th. And I didn't think throwing surprise into something. I already had all the creative, everything else. We are giving away like 2 mystery rings as part of like buying something on the site, which is a sale we had never done before either. And so we weren't sure how it would hit. And we went back to like kind of one of our standard, like always works types of things. And it did okay. But we're like, well, we've got this creative. We're planning on doing a sale anyway. So let's just roll this out. And it performed phenomenally. So it was interesting to see that even a new thing that we'd never really tested actually performed really, really well.
That's interesting. And Kaitlin or Tony, have you been clients doing different promotions, or how are they ramping things up or trying to shift things around?
I'll jump in on this one. We're seeing the exact same thing, that a lot of brands are doing things that they have never done before. And that's actually what is working. So deeper discounts, or maybe discounting products that never go on sale. And it's bringing them back up to that level, at least on the search side of things. Data is starting to look normal whenever things are on sale. But that is a trend that I'm starting to see, that brands are just discounting things and doing things a lot differently. And that's what's working. And it's not things that has historically worked.
So more volume, lower margin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I would echo that. I mean, I think our clients are a little bit different. They're quite a bit larger, right? So they're multinationals for the most part, and not in, a couple are in essential categories, some are not. I think, you know, we've really kind of had to reframe a lot of things for them in a sense. So I think what we've really focused on, I think what we've heard a couple of times now, is messaging. Just what to do with that messaging, right? It's got to be different than what it is today. We need to have empathy and be a part of that social fabric, and we need to do some different positioning. So I think we've worked really, really hard over the last couple of weeks to position our clients for new messaging that we want to update and push out through the ecosystem. So we're looking to do that. We're also convincing them not to go dark. And I know that's something that I know early on, I think Greg was asking, like, what are we doing? Oh, no, it was even you. That's right, Ginny. That was your article a couple of weeks ago, I think, right when all this hit.
Oh, yeah.
And we were advising to just sort of like maybe ease off the gas a little bit, just take it slow and let's see how it goes. And then we were doing a lot of our own research, and what we found is that brands that go dark during recession, depression, or even crisis type periods have a very difficult time climbing back up the mountain once things begin to normalize. So we've been cautiously trying to figure out how to maintain a relatively solid spend. I wouldn't say like we're going overboard or access, but just enough so that we keep visibility in front, along in combination with that new messaging, right? So it's new messaging plus not going dark. I think something else we've been focusing on is fundamentals. That's just something we've seen, at least with some of our larger brands. I would say that. I think maybe some of the more smaller, mid-sized businesses have their fundamentals pretty well stacked, and they're going strong. With some of the larger ones, like, this has always been a thought for them. It's something they've cared about. But between the 10 different things they have to accomplish every single year, every single day, it's not to say that e-commerce has taken a backseat, but it certainly is now starting. I think everyone's seen it. It's just picked up into the limelight, right? So now all the warts are visible. Some of the things that we couldn't hide before are suddenly like, whoa, that's pretty glaring, and we should fix that. So I think that's something that we've really worked over the last few weeks and are continuing to do, is just set that table and foundation so that when we start building, we're trying to, and it's future proofing, right? Like, if you have your foundation set correctly, I mean, there's a lot less work at the back end. So putting in some of that grinding now is going to be worth it for us.
Yeah. And on the, so the foundation that you're setting, is that more on the direct sales channels work?
And just even on our retailers, right? So there were things where like some of the information that we've seen around our products is maybe a year or two old, right? Like, so there's been iterations on that, and just trying to get through all of those retailers using our syndication tools and our platform tools now has really ramped up that effort. So just making sure we have really nice, standardized, robust messaging across all of them, and again, right, like, so as we develop this new messaging, like how fast is that turn coming too? So we want to make sure that we're not leaving some of that old messaging behind as well.